one of our frustrations is that we don't feel that there is this sense of urgency to solve this problem that the developing countries really need. There is complacency in a way, yes? And we think that this is happening because the markets are not suffering. The countries that are getting into debt or debt distress are small and medium-sized countries that don't affect the markets. So markets are not suffering, but people are. And I think that that is our main message. People are suffering. Governments are facing impossible choices between servicing the debt or servicing their people. And this is not rhetoric. It's as it is. Yes, Africa is spending more in servicing the debt in per capita terms than education or health. And 3.3 billion people live in countries that right now are spending more in servicing the debt than on health and education. So we cannot achieve the SDG goals. We are clear of that. If you cannot spend in the basic needs of your people, you cannot achieve the SDGs. So we are asking for several things on this very clearly. First of all, when countries enter into debt distress and they or default, we have to have a clause for suspending interest rates. Why? Because the problem is that they start to negotiate. They come into the common framework that was agreed by the G20, or they are part of the round table that has been established by the IMF. And while they talk and try to convince and try to restructure, the interests are running. So they always have to renegotiate the interests that are not being paid while all the process has happened. And this is another burden and another tool for negotiation for the creditors. So we have to be clear. There has to be a suspension of interest rates while the negotiations happen. We need to have more clarity on the process of negotiation. And we don't have clarity. We don't have a timetable. We don't have everybody in the negotiation in the same room. And something very important, we need to be very transparent about the debt sustainability analysis and assessment that is being made, because this exercise has to be robust. Sustainability is not only ability to pay. A debt sustainability analysis has to take into account, in our view, the SDGs. Are they going to be able to achieve the SDGs? To invest in the things that they need to invest for development to happen? Or are we again giving up development to pay the debt? And that is unsustainable for anybody, in social terms, in economic terms, and in political terms. So that has to happen. The debt sustainability analysis, first of all, has to be transparent, has to be shared, because the country has to say something about it. Yeah, and the methodology should be discussed. And I think that this is a very important point. And my last point, apart from having an institutional setting that will be stable, we have the debt negotiation is ad hoc. There is no institution, there is no architecture that has been agreed. Every time that it happens, we go to an ad hoc mechanism. So we are asking for stable rules of the game. We need to know what will be the structural, permanent institutionality that will deal with that problems and that crisis. I have only a last point. If you enter into a debt negotiation, you have to enter until now in a program with the IMF. And what happens is that even if you comply with all the things that have to be done, you don't receive anything, any disbursement, anything during all this time. How long has it taken? 4 years? 3, 4, 5 years of negotiation? And you haven't received another dollar, and you cannot go to the international markets. So this cannot be, because while everything is happening, you still have a job to do. Your development is still there. It's still happening. The people has to eat, has to go to doctor, has to go to education. So if nothing happens that is beneficial for the people, even when you enter into a serious restructuring process. So this won't hold. It's not possible because people suffer. And I think that we have to put people in the center of this discussion. We say that the world has a deficit of trust and a deficit of hope. And the problem is that if you don't have hope, you don't move. You don't seek anything better. No, we need hope. And the hope is that the history tells us that we can change reality. And I think that this we have learned from the fight of women. We have changed reality. And we have to know that if we mobilize, if we have voice, if we are a movement, we can change.